So I've been waiting for this one. This is the RG350, and at least I think I said that correctly. But as you can see right on the box art, you have two thumbsticks, you have a directional pad, select, start, and then your four typical buttons, and what looks to be shoulder buttons here. If we go up here, you'll see it's even confirming that, L1 and L2, and then HDMI, AV, a lot of nice features on this one here. Let's see what it's got on the side here. 3.5-inch screen, IPS screen, that's nice. 1 GHz DDR2, TF support, Type-C charging function, low battery LED indicator, stereo speakers, very nice. Oh, look at that, there's a bottom view there, power, card, volume reset, and then just stuff it has in it. I must have the black version. So let's open this up. Let's see what we have here. USB-C cable. I'm really happy to see that. Let's see, is this probably some kind of manual? Hey, there we go. I can read that. So, security matters, main functions, install driver, connect computer. It's actually a pretty good laid out manual. I'll look that over. Interesting little padding here for the thumbstick sticking out. Well, that's kind of cool. It actually looks a lot like my USB power pack I did a review on not too long ago, where it was actually games built into a USB power pack. But yeah, we got L1, L2, R1, R2, HDMI, USB-C, USB 2. I'll have to look into that. That almost makes me wonder, can this be hooked up to a TV? Can this act actually as a console? That's actually really neat. I've actually never played one of these before. I did see a video on it, but that was very short-lived. Let's turn this on. There's usually some power in these things when they come from the factory. So the reason for the weird cut there is because this is a couple days later, actually, and I'm going to have to send mine back. It's not an issue per se with the company. I've seen a lot of videos on this, and everyone seems to be pretty happy with it and everything. Actually, I have two more devices here. I actually found it funny. If you watch my videos, you saw that I did a review on this battery bank, and then this is the one for my phone, which I'm finding pretty funny that everything seems to be an orangish black for me, especially considering it's Halloween month, so it's a pretty good matchup. But I get sidetracked easily. Let's get these off to the side there. The issue with this is, and I'll turn it on and show you, and maybe you noticed it already. I might have actually even said something in the video earlier. But look at that up there. That is on everything that I'm doing. If there's an image below, it is doing that. It's not a tear. I don't know what you call it. I'll call it an overscan, actually. This is why older TVs, well, actually even some LCDs now today have what's called overscan. You can turn overscan off. So if you hook up your PC, like your bottom, like if this was a PC hooked up to a TV, like this part here with the size of the drive and everything and the time is at the bottom cut off because you have overscan turned off or on, and if you turn it off, it will fit the screen. And what that was for is back in the tube days, they didn't know where the edge was. And you always had a little bit of artifacting and stuff like that. And that's what's happening here is it looks like I have some kind of weird overscan. So if I go into the settings, I was kind of hoping that maybe there would be something in here that would maybe have an overscan on it or something. But I really didn't, I didn't really find anything on here. Let's see here. There we go. You got network, which there really isn't any. Scan, wallpaper, system info. Press start to exit. So, whoops, got off camera there a bit. Sorry. One time I'm not looking through the camera to do something, but yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to take overscan off. And even if I wanted to, I don't really think I would want to, because if you look here, there's such little room between, you know, like the top of the joystick here, for example, it's actually touching overscan. So if it was an overscan issue and it was pushed up, it would be cutting that off, which that would be messed up also, which is actually kind of a shame, because just a quick run through here. Let's see, here's the MAME with one, with just one, there we go, one game, DOS box, SD card. Yeah, see, I'm gonna get down a rabbit hole there. You don't want to. There we go. FBA. This is actually this is pretty good. I was playing. I love Metal Slug. Very impressed. These all came on the stick also. Unlike the Pocket Go, where I pulled out, you know, unlike this, where if I pull out the memory stick, it doesn't function because everything's on it. This still functions without that stick in there, just no games. But this was actually a pretty good arcade emulator, Final Burn Alpha, that you know, played some of these games really well. There, Game Boy, got Game Boy Color, tons, just ridiculous amounts of games on here for that. I mean, tons here. Go back one, Game Boy Color, once again, tons of games on there. Go back, oh, there we go. There you go. Here's the color games again. So a couple different emulators on there. Nintendo. Whole bunch on there too. You can look right there. See that little dot there? That is the scroller. This thing goes on forever. Let's see if I can ramp back the other way. Yeah, that's crazy. 500. So we'll go back. Genesis. Let's see, we've got Game Gear here. Tons of stuff here and here. Really like the Game Gear. Game Gear had a lot of good stuff. Sega Master System. Oh, yeah. Actually, let's click on one. Is it the Game Gear or is it the Mega Drive? It looks like Game Gear to me. Aladdin was such a great game, but really it wasn't that good on the Game Gear, even though I'm a big Game Gear fan. And you'll see this. So there's white lettering down here. There was artifacting up here. So watch for some white lettering right there. See how it's all doing that up there whenever there's white lettering? God, it's a shame too. Otherwise, everything looks so good on here. Wonder Swan. Whole bunch of stuff on there. I never was into the Wonder Swan, but I always found it really neat, the whole presence of it, because some games are like this, some you could play like this, and this would be a great game system for that. Yeah, just a few PSX games. Pico Drive. That has been out forever. But, you know, this is the Genesis here. You'll see that little dot up there. Or Mega Drive for some, Genesis for me. But tons of game on. You'll see there's that little dot there. Just loaded. Game Boy Advanced. Once again, little dot there. I mean, this thing is loaded. Let's see if it has R-Type on it. Does not have R-Type. A little bummed out about that. That was a great game. It does have it on the Super Nintendo here. So once again, just tons of games. Not quite as many. You'll see the little cursor dot right there is a little bigger, but just loaded still. There you go. R-Type 3 is on here. It's actually still a pretty good version. I don't always understand where they get their names from, Temper, but PC Engine emulator here. And this was actually, I thought, a really good system. Really expensive back in the day, but Anything with Darkwing Duck has to be decent. You'll see there's a ton on here. Splatterhouse is really good on here. So a lot of games on there, but you'll notice here with the cursor thing how fast it's going down. There's a lot of games on here, but not as many as some of the other systems. Then Neo Geo emulator. No games found. Which is really not a big deal because FBA has a lot of them, and that's an arcade emulator. PlayStation's supposed to work pretty good on here. You do have the L2, R2, and along with the ones, so that's a big deal. Then MAME for all. And there again, see the white lettering here? Everywhere there's white lettering, I'll have that artifacting at the top. I forgot, you got to hit a button or something. There you go. So there's a bunch in here. This you have to play around with a little bit. I actually had really bad latency on a lot of these. Let's see here, last resort. I don't even know what that is, but we'll click on it here. So it says blah, 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 click OK. So, you know, where's OK? There was some weird thing I did. There we go. Just started tapping those, that's right. And then that's a Neo Geo game. So we'll let that load up, all that artifacting up there still. You know, I noticed it before. I didn't think it was going to bother me, but it does. So we'll throw through credits in here. This game seems to be working pretty good. Oh, I'm an R-type. I like that. Yeah, very similar to R-type. And I'm playing it through the camera. I don't know how I even got this far. Well, that's interesting. So there's your charge. And I died, which is good because I wasn't going to actually play. So out of here, hitting the reset on the bottom is really a hard reset on this. But overall, yeah, I'm going to have to... kind of a bummer too. I waited for this too. When I ordered it, I had to not pre-ordered it, it was on back order. Its feel is really good. It's loaded with tons of games. I could have put my own on there, but I'm pretty impressed with, you know, the triggers and the bumpers. So basically for bumper style, I wish you didn't have to reach over, but still it's better than not having it. Start select's nice. The analog sticks are really nice, and you actually, I don't know if you can hear this. I could barely hear that when I was doing it. But they're very, very clicky. I know I keep moving out of camera when I do that, but everything was pretty good. My thumb tends to hit this when I'm got these two buttons here, but I can get around that. I don't have clawed hams, so I'm good there. As for the, there's some built-in games too. Cave Story, I think Cave Story's on everything. But Open Sonic was actually pretty good. You know, there's a bunch of stuff on here. Applications here, you have all your, kind of your usual stuff here. Input, there is Rumble in here. You can actually do it on this one here. I did plug in from my PlayStation Classic. I plugged in through a USB-C adapter, that connector, and I had directional, but nothing else worked. So I am curious to how these things will go. Here's your charging port over here. There you go, USB 2 is your charging port. HDMI could not get anything to produce out of that. Audio video, mine didn't come with that. I see some people's did, but mine didn't, and I do got to find mine. But this one here is for charging and is also supposed to be your accessory cable one also. So I'll be curious to see how that goes. What I'm hoping is for future versions, or maybe I haven't even figured out how to do it yet, is you can hook this to a TV and then have two players. That would actually be really nice because this does seem to handle most everything thrown at it. A lot of it seems to be more emulator related than it does power of this related. But other than that, I mean, I would suggest, I think these things are going for about $90 right now. I do suggest it. I really do like the unit. I actually kind of wish I would have got the Nintendo Color-esque one, kind of like my Pocket Go one is. But right now, this is my go-to one I've been carrying around. Plus, I like the original R-Type, which is on here. And then this one's always in my bag just because it's also a battery pack, and I actually have used it for that, and I have flipped it on, even though the games aren't, nearly as good, but there's still a lot of good games on it. If you're curious about that, I do have a video on that. But yeah, if you're looking for something, this is pretty good. I think I might, you can only get so many of these portables and review them and stuff. But I do like getting them. I think what I might do is, I think I might build a portable. This one here, as good as this is, and as much as it does, I'm really bummed I'm going to actually have to send this back. It kind of bothers me where it's actually one of the more expensive ones. I mean, this one costs more than this and this. I think actually maybe put together it costs more than those two. I mean, it was still under $100, but yeah, that's kind of a bummer, especially when, my phone actually pops right onto a gamepad and has everything that this has, including being able to hold it the wrong way, but dual buttons. It's just a matter of where everything's laid out. But yeah, my opinion is it is actually worth it, except for that artifacting. But this is where I don't fully blame the company. Things do happen. My next update might be is how do they handle it when I send it back. But yeah, if you watch other videos, you won't. I've seen where theirs are fine. It's just mine just happens to be a bad one. So yeah, other than that, hope you found something interesting in there. And like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share with your friends. Give me ideas on what you want to see. I don't know. I'm just kind of winging all this, but thanks.